Good afternoon, teacher and classmates. Today I'm going to present the cultural manifestations and geography of Mexico. Cultural manifestations. What are they? They are all the expressions and feelings that reflect the cultural and social identity and the value of the Mexican community, which are communicated and transmitted from one generation to another. Why are they important? Cultural manifestations are in many places the letter of presentation of a people themselves that have to be valued and maintained. Through this, it is possible to make a town know and move a neighborhood or a city forward. Then culture, which is made up of our customs or codes, norms, traditions, and different artistic expressions. For this reason, it is also a legacy and serves as the basis in a society because in it, teachings are transmitted for the next generations. These cultural manifestations are seven and are the mariachi, the pirecua, our traditional food, the celebration of the Day of the Dead, the ceremony of the Boladores, the Parachitos, and the living traditions of the Otomi Chichimecas of Toliman. The mariachi. It goes beyond music. It is the sound of a cultural revolution expressed through a group of musicians dressed in popular clothing that are charro suits, which encompasses the essence of Mexico and its people. It is something cultural, spiritual, and traditional that is unique to this country, an experience not be missed. The Pirecua. It is a traditional song of the Indigenous Purépechas communities, and it is an instrument of dialogue between families and the communities that practice it. The singers, called Pireriechas, also fulfill the function of social mediators by using songs to express feelings and communicate important events. Our traditional food. Our delicious food, whose preparation is an art and which is loaded with symbols, is appreciated around the world and is reason enough for millions of travelers to visit us every year. The indigenous celebrations of the Day of the Dead. The altar of death is decorated with candles, incense, corn, and paper. A cempasúchil path guides our loved ones who have died on their return home. We welcome them with the music, food, and drink that they liked in life because although they are no longer with us physically, their spirit never leaves us. On November 1st and 2nd, cemeteries are illuminated to honor our deceased. The entire country takes to the streets to celebrate the Day of the Dead, the most important holiday in Mexico, since it celebrates throughout the country, each place with its different traditions, all very rich and all with roots that date back to pre-Hispanic times, symbolizing the fusion between European culture and native culture. The ritual ceremony of the Boladores. Ritual performed by various ethnic groups, but mainly by the Totonacs of Veracruz. Four men climb a pole that is between 18 and 40 meters high and fifth, called the corporal, is located in the center and is the one who coordinates the ceremony. After playing music and performing other rituals, the four men throw themselves into the void, holding ropes imitating the flight of birds. The origin of this tradition has to do with fertility and harvests. The Totonac legend says that the gods told men, Dance, we are watching you. The Parachitos in the traditional January festival of Chiapa de Corzo. The Festival Grande de Chiapa de Corzo takes place between January 4th and 23rd in honor of Nuestro Señor de Esquipulas and two saints, San Antonio Abad and San Sebastián. The dances of the Parachicos, that is a term used to designate both the dancers and the type of dance they perform, are considered a collective offering to the saints. Dressed in a sculpted wooden mask, the craftsmanship of which is transmitted from generation to generation, and dressed in sarapes, embroidered shawls, and colored ribbons. The dancers play tin rattles called chichines. A curious fact is that dance is transmitted and learned at the same time as it is performed, since the children who participate in it imitate the movement of adults. The living traditions of the Otomí Chichimecas of Toliman. The Otomí Chichimeca people settled in the semi-desert area of the state of Querétaro in central Mexico have preserved a set of traditions that are testimony to their exceptional relationship between the topography and the environment. Throughout the year, all kinds of communal festivities related to rituals takes place to honor water, which is scarce in its land of dry climate. The link between spiritual culture and physical space influences the art of the region, particularly religious images, wall paintings, dance, and music. And the customs that embody these links are essential components of identity, community, culture. Now, let's talk about geography. Mexico is a country with a great variety of climates from desert to snow and has mountains, valleys, deserts, beaches, seas, lakes, and archaeological ruins. The location. Mexico is ubicated in the middle of the American continent, bordered to north by the United States and to the south by Guatemala and Belize, and east to east by Gulf of Mexico with the Atlantic Ocean, and to the west by the Pacific Ocean. The area is 1,972,550 square kilometers. The natural resources are oil, copper, gold, silver, lead, wood, and natural gas. And Mexico has 31 states and Mexico City, that is the capital of the country. Central Mexico. An approach to the central portion of Mexico allows us to verify the richness of a territory that extends from the Sierra Madre del Sur to the northern limit of the high plateau in the Huastecas, in which there is great diversity of climates and landscapes depending on the height, geographical position, and rainfall. Gulf and southern Mexico. A special characteristic of this coastal strip of the Gulf performed by Tabasco, Veracruz, and the Chiapas territory is the fertility of its soils, which still reveal samples of what were intricate jungles and evergreen landscapes. No less interesting is that great civilizations had their seat there, such as the Olmec in the coastal region and the Mayan in the rich geography of Chiapas. In addition, the cultures as important as those of the Huastecas and Totonacs in Veracruz. North of Mexico. Dilated plains of arid climate crossed by two mountain ranges, the Sierra Madre Occidental and the Sierra Madre Oriental, and in the middle of them the Great Chichen Desert, are the distinctive sign of the geography of this territory. Inhabited since time immemorial by hunter-gatherers, the Tarahumara in Chihuahua, the Yaqui in Sonora, and the Huichol in Zacatecas. Northern Mexico has attracted the attention of missionaries and travelers since the 7th century to date. Pacific Coast. There is no doubt that on the Pacific Coast from Sinaloa to Oaxaca, nature has been generous. Sinaloa offers the possibility of spending the night in Mazatlan, which has a great tourism services, or of visiting the estuaries where shrimp are grown and where you can camp on the deserted beaches. And finally, Djokatam Peninsula. As early as the 19th century, Yucatan reached world fame for its archaeological treasures and for the case war that was fought in the second half of that century. The archaeological finds have been events of enormous importance, and most tourists who come to Mexico do not miss the opportunity to visit Chichen Itza and Uxmal as benchmarks of the development of the Mayans achieved in this region. Thank you so much for watching my presentation and listening to me.